The word fear, false evidence appearing real. Interest rates are rising, cost of living's increasing, so what's actually happening on the ground? Hello, welcome to our October property market update. The word fear, false evidence appearing real. So many people sitting out there today on the fence waiting to see what's happening. The tabloids are playing it down, saying it's all the markets are falling, there's blood on the streets, interest rates are rising, cost of living's increasing. So what's actually happening on the ground? Now, I think the important thing to remember, first of all, as we've said many times, there's plenty of markets around the country, and what the tabloids are grabbing is just the majors, Sydney and Melbourne, and they're taking portions of that and saying, yeah, these markets are dropping, but that's blanketing the whole country and put into that same box. So yes, there are some markets in those areas that are falling by 5-10%, but they are certain types of properties and they are certain price points, right? So understand that. If you're a first-time investor or someone that's got an owner-occupied, that's got some equity sitting there, there are some unbelievably good markets out there at the moment, but it's that fine line between yield, which is basically cash flow, and affordability. So the markets that are quite affordable out there, where the cash flow or the yield is high enough that they're pretty much wiping their own face, meaning they're covering the costs with the tenant renting that out, those markets are zooming along, and we're seeing good properties not sitting on the market very long, right? I personally purchased a property a couple of months back, and I was down there doing some improvements to it, and there were two properties that were listed in my street that week that were actually there. Both of them lasted 3 or 4 days on the market and they were gone. So that's what's happening on the ground, folks. So understand that there are many markets around the country. You've got to understand what markets are working, what markets are going to be there for the long term, and what markets are potentially going through this dip. Maybe there's some opportunity to buy into those markets, but understand the cash flow, and that's what's scaring a lot of people away today because of the interest or the cost of living increasing, which invariably is a portion of that is the interest rates. We're sitting on the fence and not taking action. We don't want to look back in 3 or 4 years' time and know that we could have taken action. We just need to understand our own situation more and stop listening to the noise outside, which again puts that fear into our mind and puts us off doing anything. So there you go, bit of a rant on the markets, but let's have a chat if you need anything further.